This is my latest purchase from the middle aisle of Aldi. What we've got is a CarPlay adapter. If your car doesn't have sat-nav or CarPlay, this should convert it for just £34.99. In theory, it plugs into your auxiliary ports. You have a nice little screen that is removable where you can mirror your phone, whether that be Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And today we are going to test it out, find if it's actually any good, because if it is, it's an absolute bargain for just £34.99. I actually picked up the last two of these in Aldi. One, because I know Ben had a relative who was complaining about another aftermarket head unit that was causing him a lot of problems. And one, because if it's any good, I want to stick one in one of the cars that we got here for a potential road trip in the future. So we got Ben's relative's car in today. We're going to take out the other aftermarket head unit. We're going to put the original back in and we'll fit this screen, find out how easy it is and if it's any good. Right, Fiat 500 then, and it's already got an aftermarket head unit. Are you fitted?
I have, yeah. So in here is an Apple CarPlay, Android Auto touchscreen head unit from AliExpress, which, you know, I think is quite a common modification to do. But this one has been really problematic because you can connect to it, and about 10 seconds later you'll disconnect, and then it will never reconnect for the rest of your journey. The hands-free is, even when I put a decent quality microphone in, is useless.
Right.
It's so crackled. I think the biggest downfall though is you have to remove the top vents to actually fit the unit in. So it gives you little provisions left and right to let a bit of air out. But if you crank it up to the max fan speed, the radio then starts to flap around and almost start to come towards you. Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend it. You know, it has been my plan to put the standard radio back in here, mainly so you can get the vents working again.
Do you remember how much it was?
I think it was about 130, 140
really?
quid. Yeah.
So 100 quid more than this thing we're going to fit.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how it compares. Do you want to fire it up and we'll at least like look at the screen and see what it, because it was going to be interesting to see how the buttons work or the touch screen.
So it is kind of clever, you know, you've got the doors open here. There's a little module that plugs in, which will speak to like the steering wheel controls and stuff like that. But it's just been so unreliable. But in the factory, you know, spec, this is all one big...
Yeah, so that kind of, that's where some air can come out, but...
Yeah, but what happens is let me get this out of the way, this thing here starts going brrrr with fan speed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, it's not been great at all, to be fair. And this is the volume control. But as you can see, there's just no response there. It takes you about 10...
And then it jumps all the way up, and that would annoy me so much.
Yeah, it's awful.
Otherwise, though, actually quite responsive. That's what's going to be interesting with this other thing. It tells us we're doing 9 kilometres an hour.
Yep.
It doesn't plug into the OBD2 or anything like that.
No, I guess it just plugs into the CAN bus.
Tells us the lights are on, which they're not. Oh, they're... Oh.
It kind of knows what's going on, but here we go. The steering wheel controls are slightly flaky because intermittently they'll just stop working. So right now you can't even control the volume.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can.
I take it won't take too long to take this head unit out.
You say that. How I had to get it in, because it was missing all the proper fixings, I'm going to have to actually take the front of the dashboard off to try and jimmy it out. So it could take a minute, but it...
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully our install's easier than that. I'll leave you doing that and let's have a look what's actually in the box. I'm assuming we're going to have a screen, we're going to have a power supply, and then we're going to have like a jack auxiliary of some sort. Quality is going to be the... Oh, it's actually bigger than I thought it was going to be.
That's what she said.
Look at that. That actually doesn't look too bad. So, if I haven't said already, it's by Born. Never heard of them before, but have seen them in Aldi before because they do headphones and things like that. Lay it all out. One screen. Does it tell us the size? People are going to want to know the size, aren't they? Looks about 7 to 8 inches to me. Maybe, I mean 18 inches. Got a warranty card. General safety warnings. The Born Car Smart Display is what they call it. The instruction manual, I assume. Looks quite good. It's got a media player, CarPlay, Android Auto, AirPlay, audio out, microcast. Looks like you will be able to, well, I suppose that goes without saying. If you do an Apple CarPlay, you'll be able to do your messages and things on there as well. One suction mount. One, I think we're going to have, so you can put it on your windscreen if you wanted to. I think the neatest solution will be this giant sticky pad. Stick it straight on there. It's just got a cigarette lighter power supply, which I suppose if you wanted to, you could get like a dash cam kit because it's only a USB-C. You could plug that in, hardwired all the time, and then a 3.5mm jack to jack male for your auxiliary. So yeah, there's actually not a huge amount to it. Pretty straightforward to fit, it would seem. So yeah, as soon as Ben's done, we'll see if we can offer it in. Right, standard one back in. Do we know where the auxiliary input is on this car?
What auxiliary input?
To into the radio. Does it have one?
Yeah, we do have one. There is one down here.
Just make sure. Yeah, it should be long enough. So we can put that there, and then you just need to decide whether it goes off the windscreen or if you're going to put it there.
Got some options here. One thing I did notice, we do have this mounting bracket for a sat nav.
Yeah.
I do wonder if
there's like an adapter somewhere.
they're making just a general like,
ball
yeah.
fitting, which is what we got on the end of these things. Yeah.
So the screen could have sat there on the OEM kind of mounting point, but this thing's pretty cool as well, I guess. Does it have a like suction sticky pad type
So
thing?
we've got a sticky pad. You could put it in that sort of position, so it's out the way of the lovely, because you won't see the screen for the air fresheners now.
Yes. I guess the suction mount could also potentially put it on that side as well.
Yeah, you could do the windscreen thingy there, or you could do like a little modification where you cut around that, or just put it just behind for now, and then if you realise that's the perfect position, you can maybe find the adapter. I bet you someone could 3D print you a thing that connects into there that has a ball.
Nice little 4 Phillips screws here, so if you did need to, I guess you could just screw it somewhere as well, if you had a bit of sacrificial plastic. It's pretty cool.
Do you want to sit in the driver's seat so you can kind of see
it might
exactly?
be worth. Hopefully it turns on straight away and you don't have to reach for this power button every time.
Oh, yeah, I hope not.
Hopefully that doesn't rattle loose. Even with that, doing that as tight as I can, it is still quite loose on there. Right, I think that rules that one out of the question. I think that might take up too much of the view there.
Yeah, I was going to say we're going to get...
Maybe if we could, use the suction
we're going to get a whole brigade of people saying, windscreen obstruction.
That's a shame, there's not a lot of room there to...
We picked too small of a car to do this. It's a consideration though, isn't it? I suppose you could stick that on the dashboard and have it almost in front of the vents, maybe.
Yeah, I mean...
Or what about up high? You know,
this has got some stick to it,
it's serious stick. Yeah, I stuck it to your workbench, unfortunately.
It's not going to stick there. This thing is horrible, this bracket. Not so the machine, this bracket is just very flimsy. That's just awful anyway.
It's not what you expect for £34.99, is it?
Not what you expect. All that money. That is awful, that mount. That is just going to be trouble. So I think we're just stuck with this one here, which does feel a bit more robust. But then you're like very limited to where you can even put the thing, because that is just too much. It just takes up too much of the view, and it can't go this side because there's not enough room. So I don't think this was a good choice of car.
Shall we fire it up and see how well it works? Because we can come up with our own custom solution to make this fit somehow. And then we'll find like the biggest car we've got outside. Yeah, that's what you want, isn't it? Kind of in front of the vents.
Yeah, and this probably is just like a 1-inch ball socket. You get a GoPro and you know, quad lock and that sort of thing. So you might be able to get a bit of a different mounting solution, because if it was there, that would be perfect.
You can somewhat understand why they've gone like quite large with a screen. Big is better, right? But in some scenarios, this is not going to be... I mean, like 3 fully grown men in this car right now trying to work on the same thing. It's not really working. I do wonder if... dismantle this slidey thingy, and if you just put your sticky pad on, stuck that to it somehow, if it would support its weight off of there, that is where it would sit. Which is perfect, really, isn't it? Not necessarily the most elegant solution. But
Yeah, certainly an option though, isn't it? It's a shame that you have to do something like that, but I mean, shall we set it up loosely, in situ?
Yeah.
See how it performs, because if this isn't performing right, we're certainly not going to make the effort to do a permanent install with it.
Yeah, because I'd be interested to put it in a bigger car. We'll go and get like a Range Rover or something and see if it's too big for that even.
Are you ready? Let's fire this up. Oh, that's a nice touch. It has actually come on with the ignition.
It's quite a nice display from where I'm stood. All right. Pair 301234. Confirm that it's shown on the screen, which is not, but I'll just say pair. Connect to CarPlay.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Very nice. Listen to the Joe station.
Oh, what tune? Maybe I want to turn up my phone, I think. I hate when Bluetooth works that way. Oh, it's coming out my phone there. So it is connected.
I think it's your settings on your phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, but...
Apparently I'm connected to it now. So I'll play something from the charts here. That's on the car.
It must be my phone, some kind of weird setting.
So I can't use any of these to skip, but obviously I can turn the volume up and down. So it's nice that you can actually get your journey going on your phone and then hopefully just move it over to maps when you've found where you want to go. So yeah, you can control, connect to Google Maps, which seems to be okay. This thing seems to be slowing my phone down quite a lot. Before on like other CarPlay stuff, it's been very quick and instant and it's just seamless. This does seem a bit clunky and slow. What other things can we try?
Shall I send you a message? What have we got? Just normal messages. Text message going.
Joe said the Fiat 500 suits you, Ben. Would you like to reply?
Wonderful.
It's not bad, is it?
Your message says, wonderful. Would you like to change it or send it? It's sent.
Well,
And there it is.
Look at
Wonderful. That's actually not too bad, is it?
yeah, that's all right. That's okay so far. I think you could. Now we've overcome the first kind of technical difficulties.
Which was me, probably.
And these wires can be tucked out of the way. It is a real shame about this, the auxiliary on this, and I'll just quickly show you. Is the power cable's really nice because it comes off on a 90-degree angle, but they've not done anything with the auxiliary, which I feel like they could have done. Could have put in the kit
You
there.
could get a 90-degree 3.5mm jack, probably. If you, I guess this suits people who just want to just chuck it in the car and they don't care about the wires. It works, and now they've got Bluetooth where they didn't have before, and CarPlay and maps and whatever. But we'd quite like to make it as neat as possible, wouldn't we? I think. So
Yeah, I'd like to know what these functions here are. So we've got FM connected to auxiliary. Does that mean if I unplug the auxiliary and press FM? But that doesn't help us because now we've got no speakers. Set your car radio. Okay, so what they're saying here is this is going to emit a frequency.
So you could transmit directly to the car without the auxiliary.
Okay, so that's not like FM radio. That is just a means of connecting
That's
to
an
it.
FM transmitter type thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could potentially do away with the auxiliary, but it probably wouldn't be quite as good audio quality as the auxiliary cable.
No, and of course then you might, you'd still
No,
have
you would
this
still
functionality,
have-
wouldn't you? Yeah, so if you do have a car that doesn't have an auxiliary, you can still use this, which is
That's pretty good.
a nice touch.
Yeah.
What else have we got on here app-wise? Miracast, media player, audio out. That takes you back to that one. AirPlay, I'm guessing that's just going to be like a screen sharing type thing. This is actually quite important because the other one, the screen didn't dim.
Okay.
So I can dim this screen, you can dim the factory one, but this thing would just be
Nighttime,
lighting up your face on the motorway and you couldn't see anything. So now, that is a nice touch.
Yeah.
That is more important than you could,
It actually looks like the sort of touch controls are actually quite good, responsive.
Yeah. It's growing on me actually. It's just it's its lack of features is exactly what this thing it needs. It just does your CarPlay and streams your music.
Yeah, I quite like it. It's just
Doesn't need to do
like
anything else.
the things that would let it down are like the mounts and whatever. Once you got around that, you find your own way of sorting it out.
Yeah, well, leave this one with me. I reckon maybe not today, but I'm certainly going to order something that's going to be a bit more of a permanent fixture here. And I think I could see this being like a bit more of a...
If you were to have it down here where we were talking about, you could probably tuck the cables in through the vent and tidy it all away. So you just literally just have a screen there.
In fact, even with this one here, you can probably push this bracket hole down and fetch your cables in there nice and neat.
Yeah.
I'll check this out though. There might be some sort of
I bet there's an adapter here.
Adapter would you go in there? I do.
Yeah. It's actually not so bad. Once we got over it's the setup. It's the same with everything, it's the setup, isn't it? But the only other thing I wanted to talk about, I think, is there are a few other features. I think you can put like an SD card in there if you want to put your music in, and what else you can do with it. But for 35 quid, after getting over the initial frustrations of my phone not connecting very well, the screen itself's pretty good. It's just the mounts, isn't it? That are
it's just the mount that lets it down. If your car radio's broken and you're looking for a cheap fix, this isn't it, because your car's radio still needs to work.
Yeah.
We had another car in the yard and the radio's not working. I thought, we can maybe just stick this over the top, but that's obviously not going to work because the speakers in the car aren't going to be playing anything.
It needs to be using your car radio still. And the other thing as well is it's not going to be 100% universal, because you'd need to, unless you got a longer auxiliary cord, because that wouldn't reach in, say, for example, the Range Rover I'm about to offer this up to, because for some reason the auxiliary for those cars is for the rear passengers, in their centre console back there. So you'd have to have quite a long cable. I bet you could print quite a nice, I'll tell you what I've got actually, a really nice connector that goes on there, which is my magnet one for my phone. You know how nice that is?
Yeah.
If you just put a bit of metal on there, that would connect on, that would fit really nicely.
Yeah, that could be a good option, providing these vents have got enough strength to them.
Right, so we're in a Range Rover Sport L320, for those of you who know who Range Rovers. And if we were to put that there, for example, it hardly obstructs your view at all. Certainly not beyond, the bonnet anyway. So you're not actually obstructing the road. I suppose you could do all sorts of mounting with it. So it is going to vary depending on what car you've got, whether it's too much for your windscreen. That would be too much. You wouldn't put it over here, but yeah, I think if you were to put that there in the centre. But this is a big car, like twice the size of a Fiat 500, so one consideration, I suppose. Right, so I remembered that one of the cars we recently bought that will be coming out in a video on the main channel, there was a phone mount just kicking around in it. And as it turns out, it does have one of these little ball mounts on the back. So I've taken the connector, taken the phone holder off and connected it up to this. And that, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but that's pretty good. And in fact, it doesn't obstruct the windscreen at all anymore. It might jiggle about a little bit, to be fair, while you're driving. But anyway, it's an option now. We'll show it to Ben when he's free. And I don't think that's too bad at all. Right, so on the whole, actually pretty good. For a minute there, we were struggling with connecting my phone, which made us think that it wasn't that good. But actually seems pretty good. Quite user-friendly as well when it's got all the features you'd want. Basic features like your maps. You've got your CarPlay for your music and other apps on there as well. So you might find that it's compatible with certain apps that help monitor your car and things like that. So actually pretty good. And I'm quite looking forward to getting this other one fitted in the other car, which we will do in the future, which is going to be our Motor Trade Millie car for this year, which is our Motor Trade Rally, where we do 1,000 miles. It'd be quite nice in our £1,000 car if we had CarPlay, so we can have some tunes, because I don't think we really had much music last time. The only real downsides, I would say, were the mounting options. I guess it's going to be the same with anything else. They feel quite robust, but options are limited. Options are always going to be limited with something like this. If you haven't got a big windscreen, this is probably going to block out a lot of your view, like it did in this little Fiat 500. If you've got a bigger car, like the Range Rover, it'll probably be all right. If you're half capable of working something out and good with your hands, then you'll probably find a solution. The ways you can unscrew this base, you could take these things out like we said and stick that to the dashboard instead. You'll probably find a way to make it work, and it's going to do what you want to do. It probably won't ever be the slickest install, but for $34.99 from Aldi, if you can find them, because I bought the last two at my store, actually a pretty good system and seems to work better than this 140 pound system that they had in there before. So I would give it a 6.5 out of 10, which I think is pretty damn good for $34.99, which I keep saying, but it is surprisingly good, really. I've seen these from the resellers already on eBay for £18.90, so well over double. So if you can see one in store, it's worth getting. If you don't fit it, you can always stick it on eBay, but don't go out with the intention of just reselling them, because that's unfair on people who want them for their car. Anyway, I hope you found that somewhat entertaining and useful. If you have, make sure you subscribe, and if you want to see a similar video where we're reviewing tools, you can check that out down here. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.